Hello, everybody. How are you? It's kind of early, right? It's early, kind of not early. Hey, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday to you. Happy Wednesday to you. Happy Wednesday to you. I actually tried to share this, and I'm not going to be long. I'm going to be very short. I actually tried to share this in the event itself. Um, and that didn't work out, and because I realized the time of day it is. So I'm going to post this here, this information here, and then I'll share it to the event group, and to my business page, and to all those other places, and people can get the information from there when they're free. I see you guys are coming in. I want to do this before I started my day. Hi, everybody. Crystal, Tristan, Uncle Tommy, Vicky, Miss Victoria. How are you guys? So, professionally, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Kiani B. And what I do is I help leaders that have been impacted in the area of their identity. I help them to thrive in kingdom life and business. I help them to thrive in kingdom life and business. Hey, guys. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this over here. Okay. So welcome everybody else that's coming in, and welcome replay viewers. So I am an author, I'm a speaker, I'm a coach, and I'm a consultant. Okay, I help people start their businesses, and I help people really birth their vision, organize their thoughts, and get things together. Currently, what I'm working on right now is a book writing workshop, and that will be in about 2 weeks now. It's on March the 2nd, a book writing workshop. So if you're local here in the Hampton Roads area, it will be in Hampton, Virginia, Saturday morning, March 2nd from 11 to 1:30. Hampton, Virginia, in the ODU Peninsula Center, okay, on March 2nd from 11 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Okay, so we'll be doing a book writing workshop, and there were 5 reasons that came to me as to why it's so important for everyone to attend this workshop. If you're the one that says, I have a book in me, I'm gonna write a book, you've been talking about it for years, or you say, you know what, I should write a book because things I've overcome, experiences that I've had, and just my life is really a movie, and I should write this book and get it out, then you should be there. If you've been talking about it for years and never got it done, you should be there, because the time and the season for you to birth it is now. When you write a book, it's almost like giving birth to a child. It's a vision, it's purpose, and it's attached to so many other people that need what you have. So it's very important that you get it out and not let the years go by of saying, oh, I'm going to do it this year, I'm going to do it that year, and never get it done. Right? So really quickly, I'm not going to hold you. 5 reasons why you definitely should be there. The first one is the speaker. Okay, we have our keynote speaker as the beautiful Miss Audra Upchurch. And just to let you know a little bit about Miss Audra. Miss Audra Upchurch is an award-winning, best-selling author. She's a speaker and an entrepreneur. She encourages men and women to find their voice and shape their stories. With a passion to support leaders, create meaningful manuscripts, Audra understands that owning and sharing our individual truths are important, and it's an important ingredient for leaving a lasting legacy. The beautiful Miss Audra Upchurch. She's also an Achi sister of mine, and she won the 2018 Achi Magazine Author of the Year award. We have her all to ourselves that day. And you know, she's full of knowledge and she's full of wisdom. So I myself have authored 4 books. 3 on my own and 1 a part of an amazing anthology. And so I made a lot of mistakes of things I just didn't know any better. But there was a lot of good things and there was a lot of bad things. And at the workshop, I'm going to share all those ups and downs, because especially when you're trying to do this on your own and you're not going to Charisma House or these big publishing companies and say, hey, publish my material, you really don't want to waste time and money by making mistakes that could be avoided because you heard a professional talk about it and walk you through it. Okay. So that is number 1, the speaker. Number 2, the bonuses. So when you become an author, you automatically become an entrepreneur because you're going to be responsible for your own book sales. You're also automatically going to become a speaker. Yes, people are going to ask you to come and speak about your book, talk about your book, and, you know, share with them vital information about your book. So as the bonuses, I put together the Authorpreneur Bundle specifically for this group, and it's going to be an income leveraging plan, a book marketing plan, and this ebook called the 5 P's to Entrepreneurship. 5 P's to Entrepreneurship. a book marketing plan, and an income leveraging plan. So I'm giving you tools and resources to take with you to begin to implement right then and there. Right then and there. And trust me, everything that I just mentioned, you need. Okay. Number 3. The third reason why you really need to attend this: clarity. Clarity. This is a big deal because we often know what we want to do, but we don't know how to execute it. So when you're in an intimate setting and you have other people that aspire to do what you want to do, you hear ideas, you hear innovation, and then your creative gifts and talents begin to flow. And so it's very important that you're in environments and atmosphere that's conducive for where you want to go. So you get clarity, okay? One of the things that Miss Audra is doing that I'm really excited about is she's specifically going to teach each of us how to write an attention grabbing hook. Guys, you're going to be responsible for selling your own books. You're going to be responsible for putting out your own material, for marketing, creating your own vendor materials, your media materials, everything you need to sell and to get the word out. And this is important. This is important. You know, I've seen people that are very, very creative and have great material or information, but they don't know how to present it. And if you don't present it right, it's possible that you can miss your target audience. So that's a very big deal that I'm really excited about, okay? The fourth reason why you should attend is for insight and feedback, okay? The environment will be a safe environment and it'll be an intimate one, but it gives the opportunity to get immediate feedback while you're writing from a professional. You'll be able to bounce ideas off of the keynote speaker, ask me questions, ask her questions, share it. You'll have other people in the room that you can say, hey, this is the idea I was thinking. Would you buy this? Does this make sense? It'll allow you to fix an issue if there is an issue immediately, so you can capitalize on the environment and the time that you're spending. The workshop experience, it can be challenging, but it's fulfilling at the same time, okay? But you get to know expectations clearly with anticipations of what to do next and would people even receive it. I've also seen that too. People have great ideas, but it's not really solving an issue. And I know that writing a book is a little different than creating a business idea, but you still need to be appealing, right? And a lot of people don't even know when you're writing your book, you know, are you considering your target market? Are you considering who the book is for? Are you considering that when you're writing what you're writing? And so there's little tips and keys and stuff like that I'm going to give, because once I've given these things, I do book consulting 101 as well. Once I've given people these things, these tips, these perspectives, they were able to write and to flow. Because I hear a lot of people say they have writer's block, and you don't. You actually don't. There's a reason for it. There's a reason for it. But we're going to talk about that there. I can't give it away. We're going to talk about it there. And the fifth and the last reason of why you should attend the Write It Out Lunch and Learn is because, guys, it's time. It's time to invest in yourself, to invest in your future, and birth your vision. I mean, it really is just time. It's 2019. How many more years are you going to say, I'm going to write the book? How many more years are you going to say, I'm going to tell people? So 3 specific people that I thought about. Creatives. When you're a creative, right, the lives that you guys lead and live gives others something to look forward to. This is a specific message to those of you that are creatives, because it's different types of writers and different types of books, right? And specifically, these are the 3 that so far have bought their tickets. And these are the 3 so far I see that have been asking me questions. And, you know, these 3 specifically, you guys add value to life, those of you that are creative writers, because you give us something to look forward to. You give us something fresh and new by the way that you approach projects and the way that you approach life, how you see it. Those of you that have a creative gene or creative niche. So creative writers are so amazing because we love how they see life. They don't see life the way the normal people would see it, or I can't say the normal people, but the normal perspective of how you view something. So when you have a creative ability and you put that on paper, it gives us something to look forward to, something that's exciting, that's even suspenseful. Those are creative writers. Things that paint a picture on words, those are creative writers. When you can put your words on paper, and you ever read something and then a picture immediately form in your mind of exactly what they're talking about? Creative writers. So we have creative writers, we have business experts, right? I kind of fit in the category of each, but we have business experts. And for business experts, we need you to tell your knowledge and your experience so we don't make the same mistakes that you made in the building process. So if you do anything in business, I was in corporate America for 15 years before I started my own business. I see my fair share of mistakes and ups and downs. If you yourself are considered a business expert, and meaning that you have expertise and a lot of experience in your field, we need to know that. Even if it's a small ebook, it's still a book. We need to know what it is that you did so we don't do the same thing again. And that is a lot of the books that I'll be birthing this year, and to tell people, hey, this is how you save time and money. Don't do this. Don't do this, because I've become an expert. And here's the thing is what I say, when people make mistakes, or they have what they say, an unsuccessful endeavor, because I don't believe there's any such thing as failure. When you have an unsuccessful endeavor, something you pursued did not work, I feel like you've now become an expert in that area, because you know what not to do. And as soon as you know what not to do, that's what you tell people. Hey, do not do this. Do not do this. And lastly, the overcomers. And this is my fun type of speaker, because this is me all the way. Overcomers are those that have overcome great trials, great obstacles, and great challenges. But here's the thing about an overcomer. Those of us that overcome, it could be life experiences, it could be trauma, could be things that happen to us, or things that happen to people we know, and we walk them through a situation. Really, the message from the Lord, because I heard God say this when I was writing this out, was that the only way that he can really get the glory out of your life is by you telling what happened to you. The only way that God can get the glory out of your experiences. I'm talking about those of you that went through hell and hot water, and you was like, you know what, God, you prayed yourself through it. You believed God through it. You had people praying you through. You trusted in God even when nobody knew anything. You just trusted he would, there would be an expiration date to your pain. There would be an ending to the situation. You just trusted God all through your process, even when you were mad at him through the process. It was God who was the center of your focus while you were in hell and hot water, while you were believing for a situation to change and to shift. God told me to let you all know specifically, you guys are overcomers, and that the only way that he can truly get the glory out of your life is if you tell people what happened. If you tell people what happened. That can be a scary thing for many people, because many people overcame things and they just kept it to themselves. They just kept it to themselves. They didn't testify. They didn't show his goodness by saying, hey, these are the things that happened to me in detail. These are the things that I overcame. These are the things that I walked through. Because you didn't go through it for no reason. And not just people that know you will benefit, but those that don't. There is a man or a woman somewhere out there that needs to read your book on how you overcame abuse, or how you overcame rape, or how you overcame being jobless for 10 years, how you overcame losing a child, how you overcame a divorce. There are men and women that need to hear how you did what you did, not just that God is good and that it was all done and it was all said and done. And I'll close this with a specific example that happened with me years ago that I thought about, so I'm going to share it. And then let you guys get back to your day and I'll start mine, is that years ago, I had suffered a concussion back in 2014. I suffered a concussion. It was very unexpected. I actually hit my head and went unconscious. And I had what they said to be severe brain damage. Okay. I had about 45% vision. I spoke with a slur as if I had symptoms of a stroke, and they told me that I was going to have permanent brain damage. That's what they told me. That's what the doctors said. And they're just doing their job. Don't let the doctors move or scare you. They're just doing their job, right? And so they told me I could have possibly permanent brain damage. And at the time, I was in a commission-based job. So this is the year 2014. I was impacted and had the concussion in June of that year. I was so excited about the summer up until that point, because the whole summer consists of me laying in the bed, not being able to wear any of my cute clothes that I bought that summer, and sending my daughter to family for summer vacation, because I was sentenced really to lay in the bed, no TV, bright lights hurt my head, and just lay there. Just really lay there all summer long. And so I went through that, of course, and I was trying to explain, trying to come up with rationale in my mind and get explanation as to why God was allowing me to go through this. And it just didn't make sense to me. God ever put you through something or allow you to go through something, you just be like, this just doesn't make sense to me. And so, although maybe I'll share it another time exactly why God allowed to happen what he allowed to happen, because there was great purpose in it. But we fast forward, and God really blessed me. I was able to keep my house, my apartment at the time, and not lose anything. And I wasn't paying anything. So for me not to have any income because I was doing a commission-based job and I couldn't properly think or focus to be able to work my commission-based job that made me required to be quick on my feet and swift in response, no money was coming in. And so how did I keep my apartment and my vehicle? That's just the goodness of God. And keep everything on where I can actually walk around the house and see because I had lights and actually eat food. And so God graced me and carried me through that year, right? So now we're in December of 2014. And not only am I fully restored, my vision came back, my speech came back. I'm actually sharper than I was before, and I'm calmer than I was too, because truth be told, one of the reasons that God allowed me to go through is because I was full of anxiety. I was full of anxiety, always afraid and always scared, because that's the root of anxiety. And so God dealt with all those things over the few months, because if I didn't get scared straight at any other time, I did that year. But it was a Saturday evening in a church that I attended, and I knew some of the people there. Went to church on Saturday evenings instead of Sunday mornings. And it was kind of like a millennial atmosphere and environment, and the Lord told me to go. And I didn't plan on going that particular evening. I had went a few times before, but the Lord told me to go, and it was cold. I remember it was cold. So I threw a hat on and put my big coat on and got situated, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go. And I go to the church and I sit in the back and I'm trying to be inconspicuous. And I remember just a lot of bright lights shining towards the front of the church. And the pastor happened to be a youth pastor of mine from years ago. And so it was a very open environment where they didn't have a problem passing the mic around to different people. And specifically what he wanted done that evening, because it was the end of the year, is, he wanted people to testify. If God had done something for you that year, he really wanted people to talk about it and share their hearts. And I sat in the back like, oh, okay, that's cute. I am definitely not getting up there and talking about anything. I didn't do my hair. I have a hat on. I have on 18 different colors because I didn't plan on coming outside. I came because the Lord told me to, and I'm going to sit in the back and mind my business and allow the men and women of God, amen, to testify. So literally about 15, 20 people run to this microphone, and I'm just like, applauding with them. And a lot of, if not all their testimonies went something like this. I had a situation where I almost lost my house, but then God came through and everything worked out and everybody clapped. Somebody said, I had a knee surgery that went left, but God healed and I came out. All the stories sound the same, even though it was different, situations and circumstances per person. It started out with, they mentioned the tragedy and God blessed, but nothing else. And so as about the 10th or 12th person, I'm feeling the pull. And I feel God literally yanking me up there. And I'm just fighting him. You ever be talking to God, you be having an argument. I'm like, Lord, I'm not going up there. I'm not going to do this. I didn't know what to say or what to talk about. I was like, I'm not going up there. I'm not going to do it. And then it was dwindling down the line. It was probably about 2 people standing there. And I heard the Lord say loud and clear, I need you to tell them the details of what happened. And I need you to tell them what nobody else would say. And for all of you that know me know that is who I am. I say the things that nobody say, but they're thinking. And that was at the time where God really began to groom me in that. Because the details are important. The details are important. And so before I know it, I'm up at that mic. I literally don't remember walking up there, but all I do remember is grabbing that microphone, hugging my old youth pastor, grabbing that microphone and standing there with everyone staring at me. And I don't know who these people are. Some I know, most I don't. And I remember just starting to share what the year had looked like for me, that I had a concussion, that I almost lost my car and my apartment. I almost got evicted and I couldn't pay my bills. And, I was very angry at God, because I didn't understand what was going on. And when I said that part, I was very angry at God. It was like somebody cut the record. And even though there was carpet on the floor, you can hear a pin drop. And I pressed into that. And all I know is that God used me to share the intimacy between him and I, where I grew to really, really know that he's a provider in those 6 to 7 months that I went through what I went through, being scared, confused, and disappointed and discouraged. And he allowed me to share all of it, the details of what happened. And before I knew it, I was finished, but there was no clapping for me. Everybody was crying. And I know everybody was weeping because that's how they felt. They didn't go through what I went through, but they felt like there was times when they felt like God left them, forsaken them, betrayed them. Like I tell people, when you're in pain, it's the norm to feel is like you're by yourself. There's such loneliness and pain. People will come to you and say, I can relate or I understand, but do they really? They can try and show empathy and sympathy, but do they really understand? Pain makes you feel so isolated, alone, and by yourself. And somebody needed to say it and talk about it. So I say that to you, the overcomers. Somebody needs to hear your story on parenting. Somebody needs to hear your story on heartbreak. Somebody needs to hear your story on suicide. Somebody needs to hear your story of how you overcame. They need the intimacy details of that in order for them to overcome. Because that's how God gets the glory out of your story, how he gets the glory out of your life. Great fulfillment when God uses you as a conduit for his blessings, as a conduit to show and express his love by you saying, hey, you're not by yourself in this. You're not going to die from this. You're going to get through this and you're going to overcome. Okay? So 5 immediate reasons why you should attend the book writing workshop. And for those of you that live in different states, it just was impressed upon my heart as I'm sitting here talking, there will be an option for you not to stream in live that day because it's too short notice to do that. But I will make it an option for you to probably get what happened that day. I'm going to work on it. Maybe record it or whatever else. So you'll have another option to invest in it, but I'll make sure it can get to you some other way. But for those of you who are local, you have no excuse. You have no excuse. It's not going to be a whole lot of people because we want to keep it small and intimate. But there's no excuse. It's time to birth the vision and get the book out in 2019. It is the record-breaking year for the people of God. So I pray you guys have a great Wednesday. Blessings to you, and I see you guys soon. But I had to make sure I do it because I have my shirt on. See my shirt, guys? Do It Afraid. It is my anthem. It is my anthem for Kiani Impacts. My logo. It is my anthem. Do It Afraid. And let this be the year that nothing stops you from doing what you need to do. Blessings to you guys. Bye.